Check, check. Hello, Flight Simulator fans, and welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be in Aerofly FS4 again. We're going to be checking out some Paris flying, and I'm assuming, I think Barcelona's in Spain. Yeah, we're going to go from Paris-Orly to, it's a long one, almost 600 miles with 560 some, I think. And we got a little bit of an approach to fly here, which is good. And a pretty easy approach, I think, into Barcelona, right on the edge of the water. So it should be pretty exciting. Let's see. There we go. We're going to cruise at 36,000 feet, and we're going to be flying the Air France Boeing 747. So welcome. Let's go ahead and get started because we've got a long one tonight. So again, if you're not here on time, we're going to have to get started without you. Anyway, we did smash the 4,800 subs barrier. We are currently at 4,805 subscribers. First time in the channel's history. So I really appreciate you for making that happen. And here is the Air France 747. Cold and dark. Just waiting for us to get it started. And the good news is our runway is right there down that taxiway. Right here. So as soon as we get started, we're going to be able to get flying right away. That's one of the things I like best about Aerofly FS. And this is Aerofly FS4, PC version, of course. And let's go ahead and get started. We're going to hit the... Now, this is a little bit weird. Notice that the way that battery flipped like that. You really didn't click it. You just kind of flipped it, right? So that's a little bit strange, but it does seem to work anyway. And there's a little bit of wonkiness around getting the APU running, which is kind of strange. You know, I mean, it's okay that the rocker switch goes to start and then immediately goes back to on, but I've actually had it not start or had it take a pretty long time to get started. So we'll give that a few minutes. Let's go down and do our posinit and set up the FMS. You'll see some additional wonkiness on the 747 here. Let's come into the posinit page, and we're LFPO, I believe. LFPO. And we'll set that there. I'm not going to worry about a gate because we're not really at a gate. This page, you can do a whole lot of, once you click on the, okay, no, that's the reserves. Okay, 5 tons of reserve, that's fine. The rest of it, you can just default. You know, this is fine for me. Our cruising altitude is going to be 36,000 feet. So we'll enter that and cruise a CG, which, is that center of gravity? I'm not sure. But anyway, we'll just go ahead and default that, and we'll check our thrust limit page. And it's basically the most powerful takeoff and the most powerful climb. We're really not concerned about anything there. So let's go ahead and now that we've got that, we'll just activate the legs page. We'll hop on up to the FMS. Of course, first thing we want to, or not the FMS, the MCP. And we'll set the, oh, this is odd. Yes, I've noticed this. Now also notice this. Notice how the trim wheel is, and it's not responding to me modifying the trim, and it's because I'm not on. Now, first of all, I don't see the APU as being available, but it is. So it should say available and then go to on. But of course, it for some reason doesn't do that. We're going to go ahead and set all these hydraulic pumps to auto. And we'll hit on the fuel pumps here. There's lots of fuel pumps there. And by default, we have the APU bleed is turned on by default, as are the other engine bleeds, but the APU bleed is important for startup, of course. And we got an APU running indication down here, which is good. So now we can operate these switches and buttons and levers and whatnot. Time to get into a little bit more of the, no, let's see, let's don't do that. Wonder if this defines everything. Yeah, like we don't have to do that. Let's see what's departure. Yeah, it doesn't do anything. Let's go back. There we go. Takeoff ref. We're going to set flaps 10 for takeoff. And notice the V speeds are all out of whack. So V1 is 145. VR, the rotate, is 161. V2 is 150. I think those are backwards. 150 should be the VR and 161 should be V2. So again, kind of some oddities there. Let's go ahead now, and we're going to set our initial climb altitude to 12,000 feet. We'll climb up to 12,000, and we will go ahead and speed up, and then we'll climb up to 36,000 from there. We'll go ahead and pre-select LNAV. Let's do a vertical speed lock on as well, so when we engage the autopilot, we'll be climbing at this speed, and then we'll just switch over into flight level change mode. A little bit wonky to get the speed to behave correctly, but at any rate, it should be fine. I notice that when I switch into flight level change mode, it actually uses the speed here, whereas if you just engage the auto throttle and try to climb either vertical speed, or it will pretty much ignore what you have selected. Let's see. No, we can't engage flight level change mode here on the ground yet. So interesting there. Kind of learning a little bit as we go. Decision height. Let's increase that. I like a 200-foot decision height, but honestly, it doesn't really matter, I don't think. And we're going to switch over into inches. So we're 2992. Perfect weather in Aerofly. We do have a little bit of wind today, but it's like 5 knots out of 90 or something like that. Oh, 2 knots right now. Very nice. Have a delicious Coke Zero this evening. And some Relief Factor. So if you're old like me and you have lots of aches and pains, and I'm not this is not a sponsor. I'm not paid at all. This just works. You can see there's 4 pills in there. Basically, 2 of them are fish oil, and 2 of them are like turmeric and curcumin and some other ingredients that fight inflammation. This has done away with almost all of my pain. Exercise related, just being old, getting some arthritis in my fingers and whatnot really has made a huge difference for me. So I take it twice a day, and it's going to be coming up here in about 20 minutes. I need to take that. So let's go ahead and get taken off here. We're pretty much ready to start the engines at this point. Let's see. We do have TCAS off, so we'll just, we'll go with 2000. That's fine. We'll just switch that to active. And that will get rid of the TCAS, and then the emergency light switch is right armed. Yes, you can kind of see it. You don't really get any great views that look directly at the overhead panel. Before we get started, let's go ahead and turn the beacon on. Whoops, we're not ready for the nav. Not ready for the nav light yet. And let's go ahead and do the, we had our fuel pump selected, so we'll set engine 1, fuel cutoff valve to on, and hit the starter switch there. And we are, let's check and make sure that the engine starts to come up. And there you can see it starting to spin up. Beautiful model, beautiful aircraft model. Doors auto, okay. We can do some additional preparation. I think the trim looks good, and then trim is now functional. Since we have everything turned on, we're going to set the auto brakes to projected takeoff just in case, but I don't anticipate any problems on takeoff. I can hear engine 1 starting to come up a little bit. There you go. I'll turn it up for you guys just a smidge. Something about Coke Zero. It's 0 calories and it tastes great, so I love it for that. But it seems to make you thirsty for more Coke Zero. It's an amazing accomplishment that they've achieved, right? Okay, looks like engine 1 is up and running. We can probably do 2 engines at a time. Let's do 2 and 3. come on up. And we'll do 2 and 3. I think that's actually realistic. I think you can start 2 engines at once in the real plane. Okay, engine 4 shutdown. So we got rid of our armed, our emergency light arm message. We got rid of that. And I think we might wind up getting a little bit dark when we're coming in for landing. It takes about a couple hours to do this. The flight or the climb up to 36,000 is pretty slow. I did want to see, because one thing I haven't found, and I haven't really spent a whole lot of time looking for it. Where's my passenger signs? I like to hear the bing bong, but I don't know if it's in here. Maybe they don't have it on the 747. I don't know. Probably in there, right? We'll just leave the temperatures all normal. I don't think, I'm not even sure to what extent these other ones work. We got our yaw dampers are automatically set to on, so that's good. I think we'll just leave it at that. We're a little bit off on the cockpit or the co-pilot view, but that's all right. We'll hop back over to here. Engines 2 and 3 are started. Everything's looking good on those engines. Let's go ahead and start engine 4. I'll be using the Bravo throttle quadrant tonight for the flight. And all the indicator lights are kind of going out. Starter engaged, APU is on, parking brake is on. It's kind of a nice little setup there. I have to be careful when I take these because those pills are kind of big and you can choke on them. There's nobody around to save me if that happens. Okay. Well, we'll leave the APU running for takeoff. We'll take it on. We'll turn that off afterwards. I think we're pretty well. I mean, all the anti-ice is set to auto. So let's see. Let's go ahead and hit the taxi lights to on. Well, what is that one? Beacon lower. Oh, okay. I think I accidentally had that turned off. That's funny. Anyway, we'll go ahead and I'm going to turn everything on because I like to have lots of lights. And let's take a look at the aircraft here. I think we're pretty well set up. Quick setup, easy setup. That's another good thing about Aerofly. You get into the action and flying promptly. Looking quite amazing, I have to say. Uh-oh. Rudder pedals getting a little wonky here. Let's do a controls check. Yep, we're good. We're looking good. There we go. All right. Kind of dug that view. Let's try to do something cool with this. Let's come back in. And okay, my rudder pedals must have shifted on the floor here. They're really starting to piss me off. Not a good start. Not a good start for the pedals here. Thrustmaster cheap plastic rudder pedals. Let's see, we're in toga mode with LNAV armed, and we'll engage toga mode on takeoff, so we'll be set there. Let's go ahead and cut the emergency or the parking brake off. Get ourselves a decent view, and let's see what this baby looks like when it starts to move. Easy now. Easy. I don't like how it's following it. I was hoping it would be stationary. Oh, this looks much more controllable from inside. I've got to turn up this. There we go. I can't barely hear it in my headphones, but now I can hear it good. Hope you guys are having a good week. We got here in the United States, Labor Day weekend coming up this weekend. It's a 3-day weekend. Woo! We haven't had 3-day weekend since what, the 4th of July, right? And I personally really enjoy a 3-day weekend, even though I usually just wind up relaxing and not doing a whole heck of a lot. I'm not laboring. Had to work last weekend, and not anything real major, just, 3 hours on Saturday and 2 hours on Sunday. But, I had to work now 11 days in a row, and that gets old. It doesn't happen very often. A lot of times I can avoid being involved in weekend work, but being a technology professional, a lot of times you do have to put in some extra effort on the weekends. So that'll happen. Got to get paid. Got to pay the bills, right? Got to be able to buy Flight Simulator and all of that good stuff. So we are now taxiing over to runway 8, and it's funny. It's called runway 7, but it's runway 8 in the navigation pane. So it's very strange, but it's close enough. Close enough for Programmer Airlines work anyway. Let's get just a little bit of braking going on here, so we get a nice smooth roll onto the runway here. Air France stall training next year. Oh man, are you serious? Insane. Stall training in a 747? That doesn't sound like fun. I did that in a Piper Tomahawk. I was terrified. They call it the Traumahawk for a reason. All right, let's go ahead and engage toga mode here. Oh man, here it comes. Here comes these monster engines. Boy, they are coming up now. Ooh, I gotta turn it down now. Really loud in my headset. Looks like it's a little loud on screen for you guys too. Let me bring it down just a little bit. Okay, we are coming up. Airspeed is alive, and we are crossing 100 knots. We need to arm the speed brakes, and we should have flaps 10, which I did not set. Programmer Airlines. Oh boy. Aborted takeoff. Oh my god, we might have to abort this takeoff. Nah, we're going. We're going. I accidentally extended the speed brakes. I just meant to arm them. Oh, I don't think you're supposed to do that anyway. Alright, positive rate, landing gear up. And it looks like it disarmed the auto brakes for me, which is good. Alright, let's see if we can fly the needles here. Oh boy, she's slow and heavy. Alright, we're going to go ahead and engage the autopilot. And it took us out of vertical speed mode. Interestingly enough, we'll just go into flight level change mode, and I'll stick with 175. That's fine. It locks it into whatever you have when you engage that. So I don't know if that's correct, but that seems to work. Uh-oh. Air France have had strange incidents. I don't know about that. Sounds scary, though. Let's do a pause. Let's take a look at that takeoff from the outside, see what that would have looked like, because that wasn't too pretty, but hey, we look at the good and the bad here. Oh man, this is a great view. I really put on the brakes there. Probably should have just left her rolling. That would have been a little bit better. Yeah, this will be funny. We'll see we should see the speed brakes come out. And then the auto brakes apply. And then I shut off the speed brakes. Programmer Airlines style. We're already having strange incidents. Oh, look at that. There they go, right there. I'm like, what is happening? Why are we losing speed? I don't understand. Come on, figure it out, programmer. There we go. Look at that baby pitch up. Boy, that thing was like, okay, back to business. Yeah, I don't mind saying I've practiced this flight a couple of times. Dig that. Very nice. Very nice. Very nice. Yeah, once we get over our initial streaming jitters, you know, I haven't streamed in about a week, so. Beautiful. I read that Aerofly is putting a lot of textures or high res aerial photo textures into the European into some European airports, and they have some screenshots on the Steam page. They probably have them on the IPAC's website as well, and they look crazy good. I mean, they look really, really good. All right, let's get a little bit of speed going here. We'll start taking out these flaps. Let's get up to about 200 knots. We'll go back to flaps 5. And we're about to make a stellar turn here, so let's hop out. Oh, that's the wrong view. There's a flyby view. Oh, that is so cool. Okay, you can start the turn anytime now. There it goes. One more time, one more time. Very nice. Not too many crazy angles on this flight, which is good. There is a kind of a weird little zigzag in the navigation screen as we do our approach. There's some mountains over there, but I mean, they're really like, I mean, you can just stay at 5,000 feet until you're clear of them and then go down to 3,000, and we'll be way ahead of schedule. You know me, Programmer Airlines arrival. And very good. I think we can take the flaps up all the way. And we'll let this baby climb unrestricted. Yeah, we'll kind of bump out. We do have a long flight this evening. I did have some oddities in the flight planner, and I posted this on the IPAC's forums. Where when I did the flight plan originally, it had like a weird number, like 6,000 feet for the cruising altitude. And I would go in and change it to 36,000 and click the done check mark, and it would not update. I had to go back into the flight. I had to start the flight and then go back into navigation, and then I could update it to 36,000 feet. But then the top of climb and top of descent, well, the top of climb was okay, but the top of descent indicator was not correct. And I don't think it's ever been correct since I've done this flight once or twice just trying to make sure I knew what to expect. And yeah, we got to start a little bit earlier. So we'll be cheating a little bit. We use our information screen here. We got winds at 5 knots. And we're 548 miles to go. So we have a long haul ahead of us here and a long climb up to 36,000 feet. And we'll start our descent about 150 miles out. So we got a long way to go. And I'm in no rush. I did notice this. I was trying to work the clock. And it's like if you start it, it doesn't count the seconds. It only does the. And we should probably accelerate since the engines are running so low here. I can get up to 230. I see up here, and I think that means that's where you're supposed to have your flaps fully up. I'm not sure that that's what that means. I'm kind of guessing. Oh, that's pretty cool. I see that weird band kind of move across the body right there. I didn't see that. I don't remember seeing that in Aerofly FS2. All right, we've got the APU running. We can go ahead and turn that off. Let's come over here and turn off the APU bleed. And we could turn off our taxi lights. We should have done our landing lights for takeoff. I guess technically, since we're down below 10,000, they should be on, but Programmer Airlines. Wow, the engines are still hardly working at all, so I'm going to go ahead and crank them up a little bit more. Oh, we're at 12,000, duh. Yeah, we're really going to crank them up. 280. And we'll just kind of get up to speed, and then we'll climb up to 36,000. Seems to give me the best. Oh, I got OCD. I forgot to turn off the APU, even though that's what I was in the middle of doing there. So we can go off of the APU and shut that down. Let's check the packs, because, let's see. Oh, yeah, the packs are off here. Let's, okay. There's that and that. Okay, now they're starting to feel better in the back. And we are up at, we are basically at 280. Let's go ahead and dial in our 36,000 and we'll just climb straight up from there. There's the sound of them, the roar of them engines. Crack open my relief factor here. Take some pills to keep me from feeling old. I take so many pills now. I mean, really, as far as medicines go, I only take like 3, but... Uh-oh. I don't have my bottle open. Yeah, I take all kinds of stuff. I take like vitamin D. I take another fish oil pill besides the fish oil I get in these. I do have to take a couple blood pressure medications, and I take some. I think I've got like six pills a day, not counting 5 pills a day, not counting the 8 I take here, and I'm adding a multivitamin to that today. Those are gummies though. Plenty of time to climb. Actually, that's a pretty fast top of climb. I mean, I guess that is 40 miles, but... Yeah, so it's weird. The clock counter seems to only count minutes. And when you go over an hour, it doesn't have a 1 here. So I'm not really sure how to do this. Run HLD. Reset. Maybe is that what this does? Oh, CHR 25. Okay, that was a reset. This is very confusing. I thought it was just like you just hit a button. I should use the one on my Velocity flight yoke. There we go. Chronometer. Of course, you guys don't get to see it, but there we go. Now I have a counter that makes sense. Yeah, I think the passengers woke up on that takeoff. They were like, what happened? The hell was that? So that's what you get when you buy Programmer Airlines. You get some excitement in your flight. Just about getting tired of cutting the grass. I had to run out there tonight and cut the grass, and I have a huge backyard. My front yard takes like 10 minutes, but the backyard is ridiculous. It's huge. I have a push mower. It's not self-propelled. Pretty damn heavy. That's why I need relief factor. All right, we are good to go. Let's see. What do we got to talk about? I did buy the PMDG 737-700. I think the 600 is the $35 one, which I hear is fantastic. But I wanted to take that next level. I said, if this 700 costs, excuse me, I think I got it on sale. I think it was like $52, but it was $69.99 normally. I said, wow, that's got to be a pretty tricky aircraft. So I downloaded it. I got it installed. It's Flight Simulator 2020. And I couldn't figure out how to align the IRSs. And so I watched a real-world Boeing 737 video on how to align the IRSs. Did the same thing in the sim. Voila, it worked. So I was like, that's really cool when that happens. Now, I haven't spent any more time with that aircraft. And I also haven't done any pilot edge since that initial flight. So we'll probably be getting back into timer is for racetracks and holding. An hour would be a bit much. Yeah, man, push mower. Push mower for the exercise. I've been paying a guy to cut my yard while he's a kid. I don't know, for like the last 5 years. And it just got to be a problem this year and last year where he wasn't showing up. And I was paying him good. I mean, I was paying him $65 to cut my yard, and he could do it, you know, in less than an hour, hour and a half tops. So that's good money. But once you don't show up, then it's just too much. So I decided to cut it myself. Boy, our top of climb kind of keeps stretching, doesn't it? I think that's because we keep slowing down. Our climb slows down the higher we climb as the air becomes less dense. But we are only 11,000 feet away. It'll take us 40 miles to get there. Zoom out a little bit. Very nice. Lots of cottony, puffy clouds in the air today. Yeah, I thought that timer thing was something you started when you took off. Like, you just take it off and it's meant to track how long you've been flying, so. What the hell is hogweed? I've never heard of that. You gotta cut hogweeds? You gotta lawn mow that? I don't know. I don't think I have any hogweed in my yard. It's got a lot of weeds, though. So I got the 737. No pilot edge. I got to go for the Cat 2 rating, which is actually interacting with the ATC. And I've listened to a bunch of clips, and it sounds like exactly what I fear when I think about talking to ATC. Like, it just goes by really fast. They talk really, really fast, and it seems like they let the first timers go straight in, but you've got to be prepared to fly a pattern because you just never know what's going to be happening there. That's a busy airport. That's also the airport where people fly patterns, which is the Cat 3 rating, I think. So, yeah, I don't know about it. I saw it and I was like, damn, I'm going to have to prepare. The first one was trivial because you don't have to interact with ATC. And actually, nobody who watched the video saw my fatal flaw in that. And that was, as I was approaching our destination airport, I did not switch the radio frequency to the new frequency. So I was making announcements, but they weren't being heard by anybody who would have been in the area. So, fatal flaw. Not surprising, right? The hell do I know? All right, we are climbing up to 29,000 feet for 36,000. We are just about getting up there. We got a great speed. 432 knots ground speed right now, so we are flying about as fast as we can. I think on this big, giant, long, straight leg, we just have to wait till I think we're about 54 miles out on here. When this says 54 miles, that's when we can start our descent. So we got a little bit of time to chill and relax. Uh, if you got HBO Max, they came out with a new Game of Thrones basically, and they've only done 2 episodes of it so far. They only released 2 episodes of it, but so far really has that Game of Thrones feel to it. It's kind of, I think it's before the Game of Thrones series. It's like a prequel, but it's not a movie. It's going to be a long running series. I'm sure there'll be several seasons, but a lot of brutality. There's a really rough giving birth scene in the first episode. Dragons are a big part of the story, and that's how, in fact, the House Targaryen kind of came to power. They have like 10 dragons that nobody could stand against. So it's really good. I don't want to give away too much if you just might be interested in watching it, but check it out for sure. It's really, really good. What else was I watching? I know I still been mowing through The Sopranos. I think I'm right at the end of season 5 on that, so I got about 3 seasons left. And I've watched that, but it's been a really long time. It's just a great show. James Gandolfini was perfectly cast, I think, in that role, and he just plays it so well. It's a shame he died so young. Well, I don't know how old he was, but I don't think he was very old. And I think he had a heart attack in a restaurant and just freaking died, man. It's like, God, that sucks. You're James Gandolfini, you've got all that success, and that's how you go out, and it makes you want to buy a treadmill and stay on it. Yeah, here comes the slow climb up to 36,000 feet. Well, the engines are running at 96%. I think that's the maximum climb. I think climb 1 and climb 2 are actually less powerful. I don't know what all of these are. I'm kind of afraid to click around. Let's see. Now, it's also difficult to see which line select key applies to what. Like, this is index, so maybe this one is... Oh, crap. No, I don't want to do that yet. We're in climb mode. Oh, this is nice. I never noticed that you could change between the modes here. Duh. Programmer Airlines. Like, here we're in climb mode. We'll switch over into cruise mode, I guess, when it's appropriate, after we hit our top of climb. Hey, Typico809, welcome. Happy coffee night. I'm sure I'll get some coffee. This is going to be a long one, so I'm already starting to run out of my Coke Zero. It does have caffeine in it, so it's just cold caffeine. Yeah, welcome to the stream. Welcome back to the channel. I appreciate you showing up and watching. Let's take a look outside so you can see what we've been up to in the last 40 minutes. We've actually... It really does pay off for me to fly these flights before I come and do them on stream. Sometimes I like to wing it, but man, if I just do it twice, it's so... It helps me so much to know what to expect and how to fly it and how to do the approach and all of that. But it does take, like a flight like this takes like, 2.5 hours or hour and a half, 2 hours to fly. So it takes a while. I'm up to 60 hours in Aerofly FS4. Yeah, sun might be coming down. Sun might be going down by the time we land. It'll make for an interesting landing if it's an evening flight. I mean, it just looks pretty. It's not really that it's difficult. Yeah, let me see. There's you're supposed to switch over, right? Yeah, we're 0.8 Mach. So that's pretty good. Somehow we have we've got a signal here. I don't know what this is locked into. I'm kind of surprised those are there. Everything going good so far. Yeah, I mean, outside of just watching a couple of shows on Netflix and on HBO. Oh, what did I watch last night? I watched an episode of this show called Echoes. I think that's a Netflix one. It's a series. It's a little bizarre and a little hard to follow at first, but it has the makings of a good kind of crime drama slash thriller. So it seems to have some supernatural, but not really at this point. The sheriff in it, oh my God, it's this black lady, and she has her head is shaved, and she's actually a great actress. I don't know her name in real life, but she has her eyes bulge out of her head so bad. I don't know if it's a condition or something, but they show her from the side a lot, and her eyes bulge just like bam. And they showed several camera angles of her, and I was like, oh wow, look at those eyes really bulging out of her head. But I guess, hey, everybody's got a different look, right? I mean, if we all look the same, it would be a boring world. Well, she's definitely keeping it exciting, I can tell you that. But that show is another one that I think if you can sit down and actually follow it, because you do have to pay attention. You don't want to pick up your phone and start browsing Craigslist in the middle of the episode, because you'll lose track of what's happening in the story, and then you'll be like, what is happening? I don't know. What are those speeds given first name, family first name? Is that like climb, cruise, and like should I be accelerating here up to 0.83? Oh, we're coming up on 36,000 feet finally. Woohoo! Okay, now I should activate cruise mode, right? I thought the computer would do it automatically, but I don't think it does. Look at that. We're in cruise. Doesn't seem to do anything, but maybe change the maximum output of the engines? I don't know. But it looks like we can get a little bit more speed. And not rip the wings off. Man, we are 465, 66 knots ground speed. Yeah, look at these winds aloft, dude. Right? Come on. I mean, this is Aerofly, global weather. It's just funny when you fly Flight Simulator and you see 124 knots coming right at you. Welcome, everybody who's watching. Thank you very much. Like and subscribe. As I said when the stream first got started, we did smash the 4,800 subscriber mark. We're at 4,805 right before the stream started. So I really appreciate everybody's liking and subscribing. And I mean, I would love to hit 5,000. That's kind of always been the goal since I started this channel. I really don't even care. It's just, that's a number that in my mind, I was like, wow, if we got to 5,000, that would be huge. I mean, frankly, 4,800 is huge for this channel, right? I mean, I'm not a pilot. I prove that you can just have fun in Flight Simulator and still get some views. Now, I still only make like $10 a month off of ad revenue, so it's not like I'm quitting my job, but hey, this is for fun. I have been thinking about taking flying lessons again, though. I'll be honest about that. I started kind of poking around. I'm right in the middle of paying down debt. You guys know hey, if you live in the United States, you know the interest rates right now. They're trying to get inflation under control. So interest rates are going up through the roof. And I usually will carry a balance on my credit cards. And it's not a lot, but I mean, it's significant. Like, it would take a few months of dedicated working to pay them off. I have 2 credit cards. And I have an interesting credit card identity theft story. I'll have to reiterate that. Um, but I'm trying to pay those down before I start doing any additional large expenditures. So I'm looking at the end of the year probably to have all my debt paid off and be able to bank some money. And I may just go ahead and do some more flying lessons. Like, I've just been really into the flying thing lately. And then I think about it, and I'm like, I have so much fun just sitting at my desk. Um, and it's such a good experience. I don't know that I need to. I have all this equipment, you know. I have a nice flight yoke. I got a nice throttle quadrant. Yeah, it looks like we're sitting right at 89% on the engines. So that's good. Yeah, I don't know that these even really do anything. I haven't tried the reduced power takeoff and climb settings. Let's see. Boy, what's our next one? Caspa? All right, so wow, it has us descending. Yeah, 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 it does. That's right. It has us descending before that. If we zoom way out, no, let me turn off these airports. Yeah, it kind of gets jumbled, but the top of descent, that's really way too aggressive. I don't know. We might be able to do it, but I start early. I start early. Just so we can have a good landing. So yeah, check this out. I was working Saturday. You know, I was not happy because I was having to work on Saturday. When my phone rings, usually when my phone rings, I don't answer it if it's not one of my contacts. Right? It doesn't show a name. You can climb if N1 is low. I missed helicopter lessons. No one in when I visited the old fly club. Oh, that's crazy. Helicopter lessons. Yeah, that would be I have enough trouble just having a plane that goes forward. I can't imagine being in real life trying to control all those axes. Anyway, back to this crazy story. So I'm working Saturday. My phone rings. And like I said, if it's not one of my contacts, I usually don't answer it. But it was an 800 number that looked familiar, and I couldn't place it, but I said, I better answer this. So I answered it, and there's a woman on the other end of the line. Didn't speak very good English. Really hard to understand, but I could understand her. And she said, hello, this is, key customer service. We noticed that there's been some charges on your card, and we're calling to make sure that you have your card in your possession, and we're going to do some things to make sure that that nobody can make charges on your account. And I was like, we had to go through about 5 minutes of speech to get to that point, just because I was having so much trouble hearing and understanding her. So while we're doing this conversation thing, and she starts to ask me some information, and it wasn't super damning information, but it kind of started to feel like something wasn't right. So while I was talking to her on the phone, I pulled up my credit card account online, and I go in and I look at the charges, and I don't see any invalid charges. So this is like red flag number one, right? Something is not right. So I tell the lady, I said, look, I just logged into my account, and I don't see any invalid charges. She said, well, that's because we identified them as suspicious, and, we're not going to authorize them on your account because of that. So I said, okay, well, that kind of sounds reasonable. Then she said, okay, I'm going to transfer you to another lady, and she's going to do some extra stuff with you. So I get put on hold. There's hold music. And I get on the phone with this other lady. And she starts asking me, like, okay, what's the last four of your social? And I don't really have a problem with giving that out, right? Because almost everybody knows that. Or they can find it, or, that's a common piece of information that, especially if your identity has ever been stolen, that's something that is already on the dark web. So I told her. And then she said, can you confirm the card number? And she said, the last four is da 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 da. I said, yeah. And she said, well, can you read me the card number? And so I read the first four numbers. And she said, okay. And I read the second batch of numbers. I'm like incredulous at this point that she needs me to keep reading. I said, you need me to read this whole number? And she said, yeah. And I said, look, I'm not doing this. This doesn't feel right. I'm going to hang up and call you guys back, and we'll work this over the phone because this doesn't sound right. So she starts to yell at me as I'm hanging up the phone, right? So I hang up the phone. I didn't give them any passwords or anything, but they had 3 of the 4 segments of my credit card number. They didn't have the 3-digit code on the back. And this was a brand new card that I had just activated, like within the last week or two. My old one expired, so the company sent me a new one. So I call Key, and I use the number on the back. And here's the thing. The number that the scammers called me from, it did turn out to be a scam. They spoofed the phone number. So the phone number that was coming in on my phone was actually the number for Key. For KeyBank. And I was like, I don't know how they did this, but I told the lady on the phone, I said, she started asking me all these questions. She wanted me to read my whole credit card number. And, I thought I'm going to call you guys back. And she goes, nope. She said that was scam. We've been having an uptick in fraudulent activity and people getting scammed out of their credit card numbers. And I told her, I said, oh, crap. I said, well, I just gave them like 3 of the 4 segments. She said, don't worry. We're going to send you out a new card. That one's canceled. You can go ahead and destroy it. And, you'll just get a new card, and that way we don't have to worry about it. But I could not believe that was the first time. Like, they almost got me, right? I'm a computer guy. I'm a computer programmer, so I'm on the computer all day. And I know how to avoid phishing attacks, scam, anything, right? They almost got me. And they did get some information out of me, so I could not believe that they spoofed the phone number. I didn't think they could do that, but they did. So that was a lesson learned. It's like if somebody calls you out of the blue and says, we saw some fraudulent transactions on your card, hang up and call the credit card company, because odds are you're going to get scammed. They're going to try to take your information. And I've had my number stolen, I don't know how many times. I don't know. I mean, I use my credit card online all the time. I went to a campground once, and the soda machine, it didn't take money. It just took credit cards. So I swiped my credit card, bam, next day, fraudulent transactions on my account. Somebody got a hold of my debit card, ordered $1,200 of phones. But the weird thing about that one was, they had them shipped to my house. And I guess they didn't know that I worked from home. And they were just going to wait till they said delivered. And then they were going to drive by the house and pick up the packages. Well, I was waiting for the deliveries to come. And I got both of the packages. And I told, I sent one back with FedEx. I reported the other one. And they came and got that one. One was FedEx, one was UPS. And but that was money right out of my bank account. So it was $1,200. I was like, oof, that's a hit. And what sucked is it actually overdrew my account, and it took money out of my savings to put it in my checking account to cover the charge. I cut that off the next day with the bank, because that exposes your whole savings to fraud. But I've always gotten my money back. The credit card people or the bank people have always been super nice, but God, it's just such a problem, man. They do everything with these cards. They got a microchip in them now that's supposed to make it real unique for every transaction, can't be duplicated, but somehow these scammers are getting away with it. Yeah, I was like, this is crazy. That was like I said, I almost gave up a lot of information on that one. How we doing here? 2:29 left on this. This flight is going much faster than I thought it would do. Oh, we still got a long way to go. I keep forgetting I'm on the 160 mile or 320 mile range here, so there we go. That makes us feel like we have a lot more time to go. I really think if these scammers like put half as much effort into normal life and actually being a productive member of society, that they'd probably be pretty successful people. Oh crap! I made up a new PC. 1 week later, Microsoft detected virus. Oh man. So did you get a call or was it an email? I mean, I always get like emails and stuff. People trying to say, "Oh, I hacked your PC, and I saw that you were looking at porn websites, and wow, you're a freak, and I'm gonna release video of you to everybody in your contact list if you don't send me 50,000 Bitcoin or whatever." And I'm like, you did. That is just. I know you did not do that. I am not sending you jack shit. No, any news on X-Plane 12, Typico? No. And I'm really disappointed because I was under the impression, and I rewatched the video. So right at the end of July, Laminar, who's the guy? Oh, damn, I can't remember his name. I can't think of his name. The main guy that does X-Plane. He was doing a presentation, and somebody asked him, when can we expect to see something about X-Plane 12? And he said, well, probably about 30 days. He said, flight model, we've been done for 60 days, and we're working on scenery and bugs and stuff like that, and probably in 30 days. So a lot of people were kind of going on September 1st. He said 30 days. And that's, 30 days from July 30th would be, pretty close to September 1st. Well, today is August 30th. Let me see. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August. Okay, so there's 31 days this month. So in 2 days, it's supposed to be up on Steam in early access, but there's no store page for it. So yeah, I didn't get it. Fatbeard. Who's that? Is that the guy over at X-Plane? Or is that me? Are you insulting me? Yeah, so I was hoping for September 1st, and I was kind of even spreading that on Reddit, and then I backed off of that because he really didn't say September 1st. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it too. Although I just got this sinking feeling that it's just not going to perform as well as Flight Simulator, or definitely not like Aerofly. Like Aerofly is so smooth, even on modest hardware, it runs great. But I'm definitely looking forward to X-Plane 12. I mean, I'll run it on medium. I don't care. I just want to try it and see how the flight modeling feels. And the good thing is I'm hoping that a bunch of planes that were for X-Plane 11 will go on sale. And I can get some of that stuff I've been holding off on. There's a Mad Dog by Rotate. I definitely want to check that out. But I don't know. I looked at it. It was pretty expensive. And after just buying the 737-700 from PMDG for Flight Simulator, I was like, not spending big money on that. Yeah. Yeah, it does seem like that's been going on for a long time, the development cycle. But they're small teams, right? Which to me is shocking. I guess I don't know how many copies they sell of these products. Would you think they've sold 100,000 copies of X-Plane 11? If you multiply each copy by $60, that's not a bunch of money to keep a whole team of people going for years and years and years. And 100,000, I think, is a lot for a flight simulator. Now, X-Plane's real popular, so maybe it did sell that well. I don't know. It's been out for a really long time. But I'll be waiting to see the pricing, too, because Aerofly kind of did us a little dirty on Aerofly FS4. I mean, I can't blame them for charging for the add-on aircraft pack. But here's the rub. You know, I bought it when it came out. I bought the base package and then the plain pack. But there's a deluxe version out now, and it's like $20 cheaper than if you bought them separately. At least I'm pretty sure I saw that on Steam. So I was a little miffed about that because I spent $90. Now I'll get my $90 out of this. Like I said, I have 60 hours in Aerofly already, and it's barely been out, you know. So, I mean, there's no doubt that it, as a per hour bang for your buck, you get a lot of value, even if you spend $90 or $100 on it, like I did. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna need a coffee. Today was my first day doing OMAD. So I don't know if you guys have done this before. It's called, it stands for one meal a day. And it's basically like an intermittent fasting program. So intermittent fasting is where you break your feeding times rather than eating throughout the day. Like say you wake up at 8 o'clock and then you eat your breakfast, and then at lunch at noon you eat more food, and then at 6 o'clock you eat your dinner. Well, you've kind of been eating for 12 hours, even though you haven't been eating that whole time. And your insulin levels are high during that time for extended periods, not the whole time. But that blocks fat burning, and it's really a way that people put on extra calories, especially if you go beyond the number of calories that you need to consume. Intermittent fasting, like the most basic version of it, is you don't eat for 16 hours, but you eat your food in an 8-hour window. So you basically go, I'm going to fast. I'm going to eat from noon to 8 p.m. And then I'm going to fast after 8 p.m. Nothing that has calories in it until noon the next day. Now, OMAD takes that to the extreme a little bit. You basically fast for 23 hours, and then in 1 hour, you eat your whole day's worth of calories. So this was my first day of doing it. And I've done it before in the past, but it's really been years. And I waited until about 5:30 to start eating, and I crammed in about 1,300 calories in an hour. And I mean, I ate so much food, I had to tap out. So now I won't eat again until tomorrow night, and I was in like a 500 calorie deficit for the day. I usually need about 17 to 1,800 calories to break even on my weight. And today I lifted weights heavy and I cut the grass for 40 minutes and had a pretty high heart rate while that was going on. So I think tomorrow might be tough, but caffeine is a great appetite suppressant, and really once you do it for a couple of days and you break that kind of dependency on that eating cycle, it gets a lot easier. I could do it for a month or two, no problem. It's not something I do long term, but I just feel like I'm not feeling good these days. I've been putting on a few pounds. I've been drinking too much beer, and you just got to put the brakes on sometimes and say, I'm going to do this a little bit differently for a while. So today was my first day of OMAD. It went pretty good, except for I got to figure out how to get all my calories, because when you fast for that long, you really do burn more calories. Your insulin levels stay low for longer, and you can really burn a lot of fat. So, and then one thing I like about intermittent fasting is you get to keep eating carbs. Like if you go on carnivore or keto, you pretty much have no carbs in those diets. And I love potatoes, I love pasta, I love rice. And a lot of that stuff is natural right out of the ground. Like, rice right out of the ground. A baked potato right out of the ground. And so anything that kind of eliminates something natural like that, I kind of have a problem with it. I actually find there's no need to go to a gym anymore. I did have the gym membership at Planet Fitness, And during COVID, I bought a Bowflex, almost like an elliptical. It's a combination between an elliptical and a stair climber. So you do your arms, and that's like an elliptical, but the feet are in a really different position compared to an elliptical. Really works your legs, and you get a good upper body workout. So in the wintertime, I do that. But during the summer, I get outside, I walk. I do walk runs, 5-mile walk runs 2 or 3 times a week. I go hiking all the time. I've got a bike that I go riding all the time. I'm very active during the summer, but around here, like, it gets cold in November and until May. Like, it's cold for that whole stretch, 6-7 months. So original old Aerofly FS originally cost a fortune. I got it recently for cheap. No kidding. Because Aerofly FS2 was only like $60. That was a great deal. And they threw a bunch of free planes into that. Like, there wasn't no add-on pack. At least not that I know of for the last version. What are we doing up here? Wow, we're 235 miles away from our destination. And we start descending at about 150 miles. So we are down to 85 miles until our descent. I dig this little look. You can kind of see this little jog in the approach right here. It's really kind of a cool approach. But it looks like the sun's going to be up. I was kind of hoping the sun would go down. I should have made the time a little bit later. But we still do have a long way to go, so it might come down yet. Let's see where the sun's at. Oh, yeah. We got a ways to go. I don't think we'll have to worry about it being down. I think it would be cool because I do like the night approach, but a daylight approach is... I have no objection to a daylight approach. Well, that's... I mean, I do have a bottle of wine sitting over there. I'm having to resist it because I do like my wine. As a matter of fact, guys, real quick, I'm going to turn off the camera. I'm going to go get me a coffee before this 85 miles flies by. So give me just a few minutes here. I'll be right back. Don't worry. You guys got the plane. Your plane. I'll turn this off so you don't have to see me walking around and stuff. And I'll be right back. If anything goes wrong, just take control. Oh, the autopilot's on. I use the autopilot like starting 400 feet off of the ground until about 500 feet from landing. I'm officially the laziest pilot. Yeah, it'll take a minute for my coffee to brew, so... Oh, yeah, I would be mad if I came back and the plane was like in a tailspin. I mean, we're at 36,000 feet. Now we're over some mountains at the moment. But, yeah, I'd be pretty upset. Oh, that's so loud. This is the view we have to watch the landing from. Hopefully it'll be a good landing. What's up? Jaida Chakraborty. Welcome. Like and subscribe. We need everyone we can get. I like this view. Oh, here comes Mr. Ed. Mr. Ed wants in on the flight. Why don't you go serve up some drinks or something? Alien ahead. All right, let's look at these modes real quick. Let's see. Is it the performance page? No. Where is that? Was it here? Index. Okay, so we're in cruise. Is GA go around? And then I don't know what, I guess con might be continuous. I'm not sure. I don't see a descent. So I just want to make sure that we don't, do we go into the climb profile for that? Anybody who might know, because this is Programmer Airlines here, we don't know, or I don't know. I'm a hack. I still want your subscription and your like, though. Yeah, that's a sweet view right there. That coffee better hurry up and brew. At the rate we're going, we'll be down in no time. I flew the gliders for a bit in Aerofly FS2, and they were a lot of fun. What is this down here? Scenery anomaly? Oh, wow. No, it's like an actual landmark. It looks like a lighthouse, but there's no there's no water. Man, it's like a cell tower. Anybody know what that is? Let's bring up the landmarks. Nope, it's not a landmark. I'm trying to wait for everything to kind of come into view here because this will make a good screenshot. Coming up, almost time to descend. 181 miles, we got 31 miles till we start the descent. So that would be, yeah, right at 54 miles or so. Yeah, throttles are back. Oh my God, see what this thing does? Oh my God, this is probably going to jack everything up. No. Easy. It's like my throttles are out of sync. But the auto throttle's on right now, so they're supposed to be all back and moving in unison. I don't know how to fix that. Oh. Come on. There we go. This is better than being on a real plane. I agree. I think it's better. This is actually what happens in the cockpit when you guys are in the back, you know, drinking your sodas and stuff. They're like, how does this work again? No, I'm pretty sure the airline pilots know exactly what they're freaking doing. Oh, we can bump this up a little bit. All right, let's see. Do they have like a descent checklist? So recall, auto brakes, yeah, approach, briefing, blah, blah, blah. That's a pretty short checklist. My coffee better hurry up and get done. I better go check on it. I probably just can't hear it. I'll be right back. Yeah, it was ready. I got one of these K-Cup sampler packs from Amazon. It's freaking awesome. This is like black and white cookie or something. And they're actually not bad. Like, flavored coffees, they generally suck. Mmm. Oh, that's hot. Yeah, no, they don't have no good coffee on a real plane, man. They don't give you good stuff there. It's like Sanka. Anybody who remembers Sanka, raise your hand. You're dating yourself if you raise your hand. I don't know if they still have that. I don't think so. I think Folgers is the only instant coffee now. All right, 58 miles. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to dial in 10,000. And then we'll slow down at 10,000. Just a little bit, not too much. Start putting in some flaps. And we be descending soon. This is going much faster than I thought. We've only been live for an hour and 20 minutes. I thought this was going to be a much longer flight. Grumpy Ben, what's up? Sanka. Oh, crap. Flight level change. And make sure that these throttles are doing what they're supposed to do. Yep. Yeah, you got to set them all the way back to 0, everything, and then they behave properly in the sim. So, oh, listen to that eerie silence. So quiet. Now the fun part, the approach and landing. Ooh, that's hot. Doing good. I'm going to have time to watch some Sopranos tonight. Oh, what if we hit a scenery bug and crashed right now? Oh, I'd be so pissed. Descent rate's looking good. We really don't have to worry about getting down. I mean, honestly, we're supposed to be at... There's a little jog, right here, and then it kind of goes off this way. And we got to be at 3,000 feet over here. But being at 10,000 here with, I don't know, this is, what is that, about 40 miles. I mean, you got a long way to go. And there is some mountains right here. So kind of in my test flights, I went down to 7,000 and then down to 3,000 and everything worked fine. I think I did 5,000 and 3,000 once. That was fine too. But yeah, we're going to need to, we'll wait yet. I was going to say we can start turning on some of these landing lights and whatnot, but we're way too far away yet. I just like to do things early. If this is your first time here, I like to do things early and be ahead of the schedule. Oh, yeah, 315. Jamming. Yep, this way we get maximum speed on the descent. Maintaining a good forward motion, good forward momentum. Wow, the clock on this thing. I just upgraded the firmware on this Turtle Beach Velocity 1 flight yoke. And this has been the first flight where I haven't had some kind of problem with the point of view hat not responding. So I don't know what that was all about, but maybe it's just in Flight Simulator. What is that, given first name? Is that what we're supposed to be descending at? 300? Another thing I like about the 747, you can bring in flaps at 280 knots. That means you have no trouble getting the airplane down. You get drag in there right away. We're almost pulling 2,500 feet per minute without the speed brake. So I don't know. I brought it up in the last couple of videos. The drum kit issues that I've been having. I still have had no response. It has been a week and a half since they sent me a replacement cable that did not fix the problem on my electronic drum set. I'm freaking disgusted with it. Like I'm this close to just taking the whole thing and throwing it in the trash or putting it on Craigslist for $50 and just telling people, I hate this thing, come and get it. It's broken. You won't have a hi-hat or a ride cymbal. The rest of it works. It's all yours for $50, even though I spent $350 on it. It's an Alesis Turbo Mesh. It's an entry-level electronic drum kit. So if you guys happen to be in the market for electronic drums, do not buy this kit. It is certifiably terrible. It is terrible. I just can't get warranty service. They're awful. They're awful. I keep responding, hello. I keep making notes on my ticket. Hello, is anybody there? Can you help me? Can you send me some new stuff that might fix this? Because I can't use the thing. I've had it for a month. I can't use it. Mr. Ed, what are you doing? Mr. Ed said he's going to work the rudder pedals for us on approach. First ever Programmer Airlines Mr. Ed landing. That would be great. Oh, I wish I could pull that off somehow. I should record a video. See, you could always tell though. Oh crap, he's going to puke. Oh, Mr. Ed. Come on, dude. Not on my headphone cable. Oh, Jesus. Okay, let it go, buddy. Oh, it's so gross. I can't do anything about it either. Electronic drum. Yeah, but I can't have an acoustic set, man. The acoustic set's way too loud. I have a house, but you know, I played bass for about 8 years, and my neighbor, like, they started calling the police on me during the daytime. I was just playing, and they were calling the police on me. I said, come on, man. I could be mowing the lawn, and they'd probably call the cops for making too much noise. Yeah, poor Mr. Ed. He's getting old. I thought this was food he liked, but maybe it's starting to disagree with him. I don't know. This is going to be a sharp turn right here. Going this fast, we might just rip the wings off. Look at it. It's already starting to turn. I notice it really starts this turn late. Like I said, I've done this flight a couple of times just to make sure I knew what to expect. Look how late. Like, I started thinking, okay, the autopilot's broken. There it goes. Wow, it looks like it might be able to hold it. Oh, that's a beauty. That's a beauty screenshot. I have so many screenshots, it's ridiculous. Yeah, we're coming through 15,000 now, so we're getting there. It's taking a little bit of time, but I think we're going to be all right as long as we can get slowed down promptly. Yeah, we always got speed brake if we need it. But like I said, we'll be able to bring in flaps here shortly. I'm trying to get out of the habit of doing everything so way too early. Like, it's a skill to be able to know when to properly descend. Now, come on, Typico. Don't be all violent like that. You don't need to go shoot nobody because they call the cops on you. It was funny. The cops didn't even come over and talk to me. I saw them. Though it's the wife over there that has the problem with me. She sent the husband over, and we're not like cool or anything. We don't hang out, but like they're okay. I don't mind. They're nice people. So I try to be respectful, but I'm allowed to make noise. Oh, what's this landmark down here? Oh, nuclear power plant. Nice. Wow, not a landmark either. Interesting. What's the matter, Mr. Ed? You feeling all right, buddy? You handsome devil? Yeah, he wants me to brush him. That ain't happening. Not right now. I wonder, are those animated? They are not. It looks like there is no power for the people that were relying on these wind turbines. No power today for you. I'm going to go ahead and set the auto brakes while we're here. I'll set them to auto brakes 3. Since we're coming through 10,000, I'm going to go ahead and extend the landing lights. I mean, I guess we're a little fast for that, but Programmer Airlines. $11,000 for 10,000. We made it. No, don't bother speeding back up. Don't bother speeding up. Let's take it down to 240. Yeah, this cloudiness is pretty cool. Oh, all clear now. Yeah, she slows down pretty good. Nice big aircraft like this. How far away are we? 69 miles. There's a new Beavis and Butthead movie, or I think it's even a TV show on Paramount Plus now. It's almost got me wanting to buy Paramount Plus. Me and my boys used to watch Beavis and Butthead when I was a kid. Oh my God, they were so funny. And they watched all the best music videos in that show. All right, we'll set flaps 1. Start bringing in the drag. We're looking good here. Let's call it 6,000 feet. Now that we have arrived at our 240, go ahead and descend down to 6,000. Again, plenty of time. Plenty of time on this. We don't have to be at 3,000 until this point right here. And that's basically we're intercepting the localizer at that point. So we'll do ILS approach to an extent. We'll probably, like I said, we'll pick it up, the glide slope at 3,000 feet, ride it down to 500, cut off the autopilot, and fly that baby in ourselves. And cross his fingers, we'll get a good landing out of this. As long as I fly those needles, we should be okay. I have to make one of these a little bit closer to night so that when we take off, we're in the day, but at night. But when we land, it'll be dark and all the airport will be nice and lit up. Let's see if we got any landmarks. Oh, there's some landmarks. Rudoms. Poos. I don't know what that means. The next video on the channel is going to be a BF-109 video, viewer requested. So I've started to do a little bit of research on that. We'll be flying that in Europe as well. So that'll be fun. Yeah, that's true. You're right. Yeah, I do have a night flight video, but it's a helicopter video, and it's kind of brief and it's really dark. A plane, I think, is, a very different experience at night just because you're moving forward, so you can't really, you don't have time to mess things up. You just moving forward like that, whereas in a helicopter, you can pretty much swing around, do whatever you want. That's some very interesting topography scenery down there. Oh no, that's our airport. No, I'm kidding. That does happen a lot on this channel, but not tonight. Oh, let's see. Well, we'll need to arm the speed brakes. We've got our auto brakes set. We have our landing lights on. We'll say we did the debriefing. Other than that, I think we're ready to rock and roll. Let's cut this range down a little bit. There we go. That's a better view. I think I can even go flaps 5 right now. Rowan and Martin. What's our... Oh, easy. God, don't drop the gear right now. Yeah, I can go flaps 5 at 260, so... We could get flaps 5 right now, but we don't really need it. Not yet. Oh, that's pretty cool. That must be like if you're flying over an airport, you can see your plane. Sweet. Oops. Let's keep it at 20 miles for now. Nah, we're good. I keep getting antsy. The 109, I was kind of looking up where it was made or where they did the testing of it, but it doesn't look like that airport either exists. Like, because it was developed in wartime, and it's so much longer ago now, like we're so far on from World War II, that probably that airport doesn't exist anymore, but I'm not sure. I did try to find it, but I think I'm just going to have to fly it. I don't really think there's that much to do. I mean, it doesn't have any autopilot. I did find a website that laid out the controls. Real nice. Like a great picture of the cockpit with everything labeled. Because in the plane in Aerofly, everything's in German. So I don't speak no German. I would be totally lost. What are we doing here? We're at 6,000 feet. We have to get 3,000. We'll wait a bit yet. I think right before this mountain is this VOR right here. Is there any place to get sectional charts that show topography for Europe? Because SkyVector doesn't cover that, right? It's only got the United States. Let's go ahead and bring in, let's bring in flaps 5. We'll wait to slow it down. Ooh, we're right on the edge of the, oh no, 260. Yeah, we're good. And bring it down to 220. And as soon as we make turn, we'll flight level change down to 3,000, provided we have slowed down all the way. 3,000 is the, well, it's not quite the approach altitude. Swiss sim charts. Okay, I'll have to look for that. I mean, there's a lot of damn mountains around here. Yes, we are. Getting close. I'm getting excited. My favorite part of the whole flight is the last hour and 40 minutes been for naught. And there we go. We'll let it complete the turn and we'll descend and we should be good. We'll arm localizer capture mode once we get a little bit closer. Let's bring this down to 20 miles. Good. See, yeah, we'll be at, I mean, we had to be at 3,000 right here, so we're doing just fine. I'm going to hold on to this speed for a little bit longer yet. Caffeine jitters. Ah, land egg. Yeah, almost done, Mr. Ed. Mr. Ed, he likes to lay on the couch with me, right next to me. I put my hand down on the couch, just kind of like this, you know, lay it flat next to me, and he curls up in a little ball and lays his head on my hand, and he'll just sit there and sleep for hours. Like I said, Mr. Ed is 16, so he doesn't do much these days. It's right along the edge of the coastline. Barcelona. Yeah. Oh, there's 3,000 feet. All right, let's bump this down to 10 miles. Let's bring some more of this speed out. 10 degrees of flaps. Let's go ahead and arm the speed brakes. There we go. Speed brakes armed, auto brakes armed, landing lights on. Cleared to land, whatever runway we're landing on. And I'm going to go ahead and go into loc capture mode. I got LNAV loc. That's good. And we should be able to kind of start to see things take shape right around the corner here. I'm actually going to have to put my feet in the rudder pedals now. And we can go 20 before we get landing gear warning. I think it's this runway, but it might be over here too. I think it's this one. Programmer Airlines. Like and subscribe. Here we go, guys. Feet in the rudder pedals. Localizer captured. Glide slopes coming in. Go ahead and go into approach mode. I've got the runway. Gear down. That's right, work autopilot. Glide slope captured. Speed down to 155. Or was it 151? There it is. I think it's 151. And full flaps. Ready for landing. Again, we'll ride this down to about 500 feet, then I'll take it. Now what's weird is the auto thrust doesn't cut off until you're way over the runway. So I don't know if it's just at a point where it's almost like the point of the ILS is not quite right. Like it should be more towards the end of the runway. Makes for fun. Makes for interesting landing. I think if I recall correctly, I need to take it at about 1,000 feet, but it seems like 500 feet is like 100 feet. I don't think the barometer ever changes. Like, right? I don't see any barometric pressure, so I think it's just always 2992. So a little bit of a crosswind, mostly a headwind, 4 knots. As soon as it feels right, I'll disengage the autopilot. And then we'll start flying the needles, and you'll notice that the plane is no longer following the needles. Yeah, zoom in a little bit so I can see that better. Yeah, see, like it doesn't seem like we're 1,500 feet off the ground right now. Like we seem closer than that. I don't know. It's probably just my head psyching myself out. Autopilot off, my plane. Work these ever so slight changes here. Ever so slight. Nose down a little bit. Fly those needles. Easy does it. A little bit to the left. Come on now. Bring it over. Come right, baby. Come right. Don't do me like that now. There we go. There we go. Easy does it. Easy does it. 500. Yeah, you see, like, that's way too close for me to take the plane at that point. Come on, nose down. Nose down. Here we go. Oh, yeah, we're good. Decision made. I'm a little left. Right. Easy, easy. No need to get crazy. No need to get crazy. Easy does it. Okay, there goes the auto throttle. We are definitely left. Easy, easy. Reversers out. Flaps up. Speed brakes in. Reversers off. And we are down. Welcome to Barcelona. All right, we don't want to blind anybody here, so let's turn off the landing lights. And get the taxi lights on. Easy does it, easy does it, easy does it, easy does it. Slow down, slow down, slow down. Stay on the taxi line. All right, we're clear of the runway. Let's go ahead and take a pause, take a look at that landing. I think that went about as good as could be hoped. I do have this tendency to always come in left, and I don't know why I do that. Here we go. Let's check from this view, because I think I brought the right side down first. These rudder pedals are terrible. I have to get a new set of rudder pedals. Yeah, like right here, we kind of got cockeyed. It felt like it wouldn't come back for me. Oh, that is a sweet view. Oh, we're barely on the runway. Okay, well, I'll take it. Not bad. Very, very nice. Let's do another, you know, I like to do several of these. I like to do several passes on the landing. Let's get the, not that view. Yes, I love this view. This is like the tower view as they watch Programmer Airlines approach. And everybody's scared because they think I'm going to crash. But no, comes in nice and controlled. That's very satisfying. It's one of the things I love about Aerofly is it just feels good to fly. And actually, the auto throttle came out at a good time, so very nice. Lots of planes over there. We'll go park over there. Let's take one more pass at that. One more pass at that. Why do I keep doing that? Let me come back. We'll just bring it a little bit closer. Is this the view? Yeah, let's check this view. Nope, that's not the right view. This was the view I kind of wanted here. And of our traditional view here on the channel. Very nice. That can handle that kind of landing, no problem. Butter landing. Well, I don't know about it. That's pretty close to a butter landing. I'm trying to get back to this view so I can unpause it and get us to the gate. All right, come on now. Here we go. I have to put in a little bit of power on these engines. Come on, guys. There we go. Auto brakes are disarmed. We'll turn those to off. Come on. Certified instructor pilot. Oh, I guess I wasn't quite. This is my hold short line, so I guess I wasn't technically clear of the runway yet. Oh, we're gonna cross the runway. We're clear. Coming across. It's a good thing I turned off the Aerofly FS4 auto traffic. Otherwise, we'd probably be getting run over by somebody right now. Come on now, easy. God, I hate these rudder pedals. I got the Thrustmaster cheapy ones, and I don't know. They kind of work. Not really. All right, let's go ahead and get a little bit. I did look at some other ones. I think it was like Boeing ones, and they were like, oh, I think it was $500 just for the rudder pedals. I was like, oh, that's a spicy meatball right there. I mean, I like flying, I like flight simming, but damn. $500 for some rudder pedals. I'm sure they're nice though. Might be worth it. Mad taxi skills on display. What do we got here? We got a gate somewhere? Oh, there's one. There we go. We'll take this one right here. Did you guys see my VR video of airport ground handling simulator? You guys got to check that out. It's VR. It is crazy. It is really cool. It's only like a 20-minute video too, so it's not like a huge time investment. You know, unlike one of these flights where it's like, you know, this is going to be a while. Yeah, we're going to have them bring that jetway out. This is close enough. This is close enough. This counts. This counts. Let's go ahead and get the APU started, and we'll get the APU bleed going so we can keep our passengers comfortable while they deplane. That'll take a minute here, so let's just go ahead and hop over to the co-pilot seat. We can turn all of our lights off now. Taxi lights are off. That's all for now until the APU comes up. Okay, doors are auto. Parking brake set. I don't see APU running yet. I know it takes a second. Yeah, check that video out, Typico. You'll like it, dude. It's so cool. I learned stuff about planes, too. I was like, holy crap, I didn't know this was... I mean, come on, man. What is going on with this APU, dude? Does it really take that? It says APU running. Maybe, there we go. Okay, so now we can hop over here. Let's turn on the... yeah, we need the bleed, right, for the packs. We can just leave all those other ones running. Let's cut off the fuel. And we'll turn off our TCAS. And we switched over there. We'll hit all these hydraulic things to off. Turn off all the fuel pumps. There are so many. Is that more fuel pumps over here? I don't even know. And okay, everybody's deplaned. We can go ahead and hop off of the APU, shut this off, and turn off the battery. And we are back to cold and dark, and we have successfully completed this evening's mission. So ladies and gentlemen, I hope you really enjoyed the flight. I know I did. This was a lot of fun. Aerofly is a great product. Give it a try if you haven't already. Hit that like button and subscribe. Spread the word if you can. And let's keep that sub count going up. Let's get that 5,000. We just need 200 more subs, but it's taken me like, I don't know, a year and a half to get to get to 30 subs to go from 4,770 up to 4,800. So anyway, cheers to you guys. Thank you very much for joining me this evening. I had a great time. I really appreciate it. And I always schedule the live streams to give you guys a little bit of heads up. So subscribe, hit that little notification so you'll be notified if I do a stream. And other than that, go check out the airport ground handling simulator VR video. I think it was the one before this. So just go to the channel. You'll see it. It's right there in the videos. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you next time.